right, Coach. Hey, you're new here in Natoma, coaching and stuff. Natoma was the state champ last year for the first time ever. It was six-man football. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how many of the players that you got from last year's team coming back?
Sure. So we have 5 returning, not necessarily starters, but they definitely saw a lot of action on the defensive side of the ball.
Sure.
So offense, it's a kind of a new. Javon Letch is probably the only returning offensive starter we have from last year. Defensively, Jared Griffin's back, Ricky and Ian Mayberry, and Casey Conlon all returned. So it's defensively. I think we're familiar with what we're doing. Offensively, it's we're starting in a new quarterback this year, so that's kind of been a process. So we're trying to figure all that out. So
six-man football is a little different. Those rules and stuff and those kinds of things are different. And
sure.
So, what kind of expectations do you guys have for this year so far?
Well, I've set them high. They've been there, done that. It's a new group of guys, but I think the talent's still there. We are down in numbers, so that makes it a little more difficult. So we're gonna have to try to work through that. But
sure.
I expect a lot from these guys. So.
How many players you got out this year?
Right now, we're sitting at about 8.
Are you really?
Yeah, we had an injury, so we're down to, we're hoping he can get in this Friday, but we'll see what happens.
That's a pretty lonely sideline.
Yeah, it is. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so, this week's, you got, with Northern Valley, they had a great game last year, his score was into the 50s and stuff. I don't know if you know a lot about them or if you've looked on any kind of tape or anything, but what's your thoughts about this week's game?
Well, Coach Masters and I both, we've been watching a lot of film. He knows. Obviously, he's pretty familiar with them. So I think the kids are ready. I know they definitely had a scare last year. So I'm hoping that they'll mentally be ready for that. That no one sneak up on them. But
sure.
No, we've been kind of working their offense and as much as we can, and with what numbers we have. So yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. Hopefully we're ready.
Yeah, lonely sideline. All right. So what do you got to do on Friday night to seal a victory for the Tigers here in Natoma?
Well, I think just the basics. Let's make sure our exchanges are good. We're just kind of getting acclimated to. These guys haven't really seen live action. It's just been practice, so against no one really, so it's I'm hoping, exchanges are offense is fluid and we tackle well. Their guys might be a little rusty, but just getting the fundamentals down is what I'm looking for. Let's not make mistakes, limit penalties, they're going to happen, but your typical stuff like that. So
first game of the year.
Yeah.
We've never done a 6-man game before.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
This will be our first one, so
it
should be entertaining to see how you guys pull this off. So,
sure.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks a lot.
No problem. Appreciate it.
All right, hey, Coach. You wanted us to come. We're here. So tell us a little bit about 6-man football. What can be our expectations? This is our first game to cover. Tell us some of the rules and just some of the highlights of what goes on with 6-man football.
Well, first off, thanks for doing this. Yes, I have been a big promoter of 6-man football, and I think what you're for your first game, you're going to see obviously a lot of action. The one thing about 6-man football that's definitely different than 11-man, and even different from 8-man is you can't hide kids. Like you can't, you put a kid out there that's isn't ready for football, then you can take it. I don't want to say you can take advantage of them, but you can show. You really need 6 guys that can fly to the football and tackle.
Okay. Any specifics on the rules that you can tell us? I know there's some quarterback things and things like that.
Yeah, 1st and 15 instead of the traditional 1st and 10. That always is kind of a major rule change. And then the other 2 other rules, I guess. One is everybody's eligible. In the traditional 11-man game, your tackles and center and guard are ineligible. Where in 6-man, everybody's eligible. Your center is eligible. and then of course the being able to, the first person that receives the snap can't forward the ball through the run. So you're gonna see that a lot in 6-man football, where the quarterback takes the exchange and tosses it back real quick to one of the running backs, and then from there it's regular regular football. Yep, exactly.
Okay. Now I kind of read a little bit, and 6-man football is pretty big, like in West Texas, that kind of thing.
Yep, Texas is huge. I'm not exactly sure how many states participate in it. Kansas this is the first year Acacia has made it a state championship event for them. But that's in Texas. I think a lot of coaches, me included, when it comes to what offenses do you run? It's a different game, and you go and you look at the playbooks of Texas and you see how they do things, and I think everybody as a coach, you steal, borrow. And that's what a lot of us do. So
yeah. All right. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your team this year. How many guys you got out?
Sure.
What are you looking for this season?
Sure. We got 19 kids, which is a big improvement over the last couple of years. Of course, when you have success, more kids tend to come out when you have success. So we're excited about that, having 19 kids. Right now we're dealing with a lot of injuries. Seems like every day we got a new injury that comes up, so we're moving guys around, and to say who's going to play what position, come kickoff time, I'm not sure exactly at this time, but that's a good thing about having depth. We got depth, and we can make those adjustments, and we still are comfortable and confident in what we can do. As far as the outlook on the season, we have high expectations. We want to, last year we got to go to Dodge City and taste that atmosphere, and this year we win the district. That's goal number one, and set us up. I think you win your district, you're set up better in the playoffs, and you can make a nice run that way. But you just got to take it game by game. These first 3 games are non-district games, so the goal is just to kind of get better every week, learn about ourselves, and get ready for district play.
Okay, sounds good. Northern Valley, you guys, you've had some rich history here in football and just some success in all kind of sports and stuff, and you being here and stuff. What's your thoughts on the upcoming game with Natoma? I know they were the state champs last year. What are you looking at for the game going on Friday night? Yeah,
last year we had a humdinger with them. It was probably the most exciting game. I don't know about. We had 2 really good games last year. Natoma being one. It came down to the last play of the game, and it was exciting. And I think if you asked Natoma, we probably played them harder than anybody they had all season. And for us, it was just a great stepping stone. We had a pretty much a sophomore junior group last year, and to see them kind of step up and play with the big boys was really, really, really impressive. But we have a rich tradition of football in Northern Valley. I tell the kids all the time, this is, wearing the Kelly green and being a Husky is bigger than one person, we're excited to kick off this season. There's a lot of excitement in the air. That's obvious. So
that's awesome. Coming to a small town on Friday nights, I've always enjoyed doing that. And Northern Valley has always been good to us and stuff. What was the score of that Natoma game last year? 'Cause we were keeping track of it online.
Yeah, we lost
in the 60s and 70s, wasn't it? Or was that?
I don't even remember. I watched the film the other night, and I still can't believe we lost. But we lost by a point, I believe. Yeah, I don't remember exactly the score, but it was high scoring, but there was some good defense too. I mean, sure. we stopped them a couple times, and they stopped us. But that's what you're going to see in 6-man is you're going to see, high scoring. What I found out, kind of going back to that first comment, who can tackle? That's going to be the main, the main key for either team going to any 6-man game is who can tackle their opponent, and it's hard, it's tough.
Looks like a lot of open field tackling.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Open field. So, all right, last question. With Natoma, what's keys to a Northern Valley victory on Friday night?
Yeah, we got to play physical. We got to play aggressive. They're big. They got some experience. I know a lot of people talk about they lost quite a bit of talent. They did lose a lot of talent, but but they have a lot of kids returning. I mean, I was looking there, four kids are returning from last year's team. They're starters. So, and I know they got a big freshman who's pretty fast. So, it'll be a good test. They got some size on them, and we just need to use our speed and be clean. Handle the ball, no turnovers. And if we do that, I like our chances.
All right, thanks, Coach.